Alright, Esper Ojutai for Modern. This is kind of a mid-range interactive deck. I don't want to quite call it a control deck because it's not playing a bunch of counter spells. It's got the, the base, 1 CMC discards, and then Collective Brutalities. It's similar to the rock style deck that we played yesterday. We're leveraging threats like Dragonlord Ojutai and Tasigur as finishers, and we've got some Lingering Souls, Vendilion Clique, and Snapcaster Mage as some grind. And then Last Hope's like an answer that also like buys back some of our threats, which is nice. And then Ritual of Soot's kind of a sweet sweeper that kills a lot of the things of aggro decks that we expected to see in the format, but doesn't hit our Ojutai or Tasigur. So let's dive into some matches, shall we? When's the frame changing back to Golgari? I might just leave it pink, honestly. I kind of like the pink frame. SCN super reasonable. So I'm gonna shock this in on one. Against turn 1 Steam Vent, I'm probably okay to just like hit my health total a little bit. I have Collective Brutality if we need to bump back up to. Hopefully they're not a Blood Moon deck. Search for Azcanta as well. Okay, so probably not a Blood Moon deck. More Exile. I'm doing alright. I'm at the... How much for me personally to port Modern to Arena? Morning, Red Mage. Happy Monday. Good morning, Admiral. So, Ritual of Soot, probably not going to have much of a text box here, but I can just discard it to Collective Brutality to, like, drain them a little bit, which is nice. Yeah, the list that Jody top 8'd the Open the weekend before, right? Or 2 weekends before, or whatever it was. So his deck is honestly very similar to the Chain Whirler, Jund Whirler deck that we've been playing a bunch of. I think I prefer the Jund Whirler deck a little bit. The Jund Whirler deck is basically that deck, but with a what's it called splash, a green splash basically. So you can play the Status Statue Goblin Chain Whirler combo, and like the Chain Whirler combo is like really good against Sultai and other mid-range decks. So by escalating there, I also put my graveyard up to 6 cards here, which means I'm gonna get to flip my Search for Azcanta next turn, and then just like go to town generating card advantage with that. What's an Ojutai deck? I'd encourage you to look at the deck list, Turkey Sloth. It'll be pretty self-explanatory. So we don't have an overlay for this application, but there is still a deck list extension. Just gonna go ahead and path this now. Let's fix your sword, SCTR. Thanks, Tony. It turned out really well. The girl that did it did a great job. Yeah, like Death Touch is good with the first strike. It's also just really good with Hellkite too, right? I noticed Jody's build plays CGN Commander instead of Hellkite, but I think I like the Hellkite. We just like firing up. Oh, we just have a Teferi. Alright, sure. Alright, so I think with Teferi down, in response to their untap, I'm gonna play... I'm gonna go ahead and play this out. I think I'm actually gonna take my own Ritual of Soot out of my hand. I'm just doing this before they untap, so that way they can't like logic knot this. But I'd be interested in playing that. I don't think so. It looks really tedious to click through. Like we didn't play KCI much beforehand for a reason. I don't really have any counter spells I can find to protect this, right? Not in my main deck. I've got a bunch of Dispels and Negates post board. I can't cast a Lingering Souls if I find it. I could cast a discard spell, though. They have, like, a Cryptic command. I could cast, like, a Collective Brutality or a Thoughtseize. Well, that's what a wonderful first Azcanta activation for the day. What's going on, Josh? Thanks for the 8 months. Welcome back. You stop being shocked in the mirror. Yeah, it's real. It's real permanent. Yeah. The Buried Alive Phoenix deck in Legacy looks awesome. 10 out of 10 would play that one. That deck plays Brainstorm. Most Brainstorm or Chalice decks are like fair game to submit for Legacy for sure. Hey, what's going on, Lefty? Thanks for the 7 months. Welcome back. I'm not sure that we're going to be able to beat this Teferi from this board state. Alright, that could maybe do something. I'm going to go ahead and hang tight for now. I'm just going to go ahead and pass back. I'm going to activate Azcanta next turn. Hopefully find the discard spell so we can check for removal to make this Creeping Tar Pit connect to the Teferi. It's a little unfortunate that their Teferi's going to 4 here. So that means 2 Tar Pit hits to kill it. Oh geez, they're getting double Azcanta activations too. Yeah, I should probably just move on with my life, huh? Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. Pretty done here. This is like we're entering garbage time basically. Like they've got this going. Let's get in a bunch of my meaningful cards and cut a bunch of my more mediocre cards. I wonder if I'm supposed to leave some number of Path to Exile. I only have 1 Field of Ruin for their Celestial Colonnades otherwise. Being able to take Colonnade out of play is probably relevant. Hey, Twin to Win, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Vendilion Clique is probably a little bit clunky here. It dies to a lot of their removal. And then Inquisition's not that amazing either. It misses a lot. We're going to leave 2 Path to Exiles in my deck just so I can kind of cut through their stuff, I think. Tickle Me Pink. What's going on, Daniel? I appreciate the 1/4 of a year. Welcome back. Morning, folks. I don't think things really surprise my parents anymore. Like after the owl costume, like all bets were off. Morning, Brandon. Alright. We'll go Duress into search for Azcanta here. Maybe get ahead. Oh, they have Geist Traft as well. Okay, that's a little scary. Lightning Helix versus Path to Exile. Helix doesn't kill... Helix is reach, but it doesn't kill my Ojutai or my Tasigur, so I guess I leave them with that. This is a run back of a build around. So originally it was a build around, and then this is the hey, can you play it a second time? Well, I had an okay time the first time. Worth noting, if that Duress had been an Inquisition, I would have been able to take their Geist Traft, but Traft wasn't really on my radar after the first game. The classic double Field of Ruin Cryptic Command deck. I'm actually not going to put Lingering Souls in my bin because I would like to cast it twice. They draw Logic Knot, or I just like Lightning Helixing one of my things. Looks like they drew Logic Knot. Yep, yeah, 100 bits or $1 donated is 1 point for something in the queue. Death Shadow. Took a lot of shovels to dig up dye for those 8 strands of hair. Listen, that is one of the upsides of the dye, is that the hair looks slightly less thin, with some color in it. Island in the graveyard. Nope, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that there. Double Dispel is actually looking really good here because it means that if they attack, I can double block and I can like fight over their removal spells, which is nice. You can, in fact, take the #1 Pokemon Nerd. Yeah, this is a run back of Brian's deck. So they have Field of Ruin and then one card I don't know about. Which spell? Alright, we're looking for threats here at this point. Would have been a land. Thought Scour, that's exciting. Negate's actually not a bad draw here, because it means I can again protect these spirit tokens from removals. So that way I can keep this Geist of St. Traft from pounding down on us. The search for Azcanta is only going to get 1 activation in, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Opponent just has no idea how they want to tap their lands. What are we doing? Yeah, I think not flipping it is wrong though. I think I want to get it. Morning Platinum. I kind of want to get a 5th land going just so I can like cast an Ojutai too. So if they want to go ahead and field me, that's fine. Hey, look, they're thinning my land out for me before I search. God bless. Yeah, it turned out really well. I guess I'm boarding in Foul-Tongue Invocation for the 3rd game, just because they have this Geist of St. Traft. We played Sultai Reclamation in Modern. I've told a couple of people I'm refusing to play the Sultai Reclamation deck, because it's a dumpster fire of fair magic cards. Zero desire to play a dumpster fire of fair magic cards in this format. Alright, it's a Geist of my own. I'm gonna start by Thought Scouring. Let's snap, they have 1 card left. Yeah, I'm just gonna snap Thought Scour. This deck's been in the queue for a while. I probably wouldn't accept this deck again. We're gonna play some games and make the most of it, but I do think this deck is like not where you want to be in life as far as like Modern is concerned. It's not where I want to be in life, at least. I'm narrowing my range for Modern, just so that way the decks I'm accepting are decks that I enjoy playing more. Man, that's like almost lethal. This is they have Lightning Bolt. One of their last 2 cards is Bolt. Dead to Bolt. They boarded in Surgical Extraction. Sure, why not? Wouldn't be Modern without Surgical Extraction. Detention Sphere my Geist to get their Geist. I don't know if I'm at that point in my life yet. We might be heading in that direction. Hey, thanks for the Prime, Red Mage Frank. Okay. Huh. Yeah, maybe we are heading in that direction. So if I do that, I could do this. Hit them for 8. Then do this, exile the Geist. Play Last Hope, kill their Snapcaster Mage. I left my Spirit token back because I don't want to die to the Celestial Colonnade. Losing. The Surgical Extraction taking my Lingering Souls out of the bin does give me less blockers here, though, so I kind of need to draw something. Oh, they just drew Lightning Bolt off the top. Sure. Sure. Welcome. Welcome to Thunderdome. I think I've got, like, how many more Dumpster Fire Fair decks do we have? Not that many, really. There's a 4-color Gifts that I accepted. An Esper Delver, a blue-red Tempo. Sweet. There's only, like, 3 more modern decks out of 20 that I regret. The rest of these look fine. Fast Bond, Strip Mine, Crucible. Thank you for the Prime support. Welcome, welcome. When's the next Legacy session? Probably tomorrow. Tomorrow or Thursday. I do Thursday. I think I want to play Amulet Titan tomorrow. Belcher's at the top of the Legacy queue. What's the win con? Lingering Souls, Ojutai, Tasigur. There's a deck list on your screen. You can also type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Stream Decker also works on mobile now, so if you click the little puzzle piece, you'll be able to see it there. Yeah, they fixed the caching issues, so Stream Decker should update on mobile now, if you click the puzzle piece. I'm actually going to take their Street Wraith here. The rest of these cards, like, aren't a big deal. Denies them the ability to hurt themselves extra, and it lets them not get deeper into their deck. Thanks, zombie. Yep. Probably supposed to play the Marsh Flats there, actually. Because even if I drew a 1-mana discard spell, I wouldn't want to play it out into a Stubborn Denial anyways. So, yeah, I should have played this so I could fetch a white shock land tapped. Yeah, it's not even like I've said before. It's not even just the effects, the sound effects and 3D graphics of Arena that make it so much better than Magic Online. It's the fact that the gameplay is so much faster is big too. Recommend out of Storm, Blue-Black Death Shadow, and Red-Black Reanimator. Probably Red-Black Reanimator. I'm not a big fan of Storm or the Death Shadow deck. I think rather than play the Death Shadow deck, I'd probably recommend Grixis Delver. I think that deck's probably a little bit better than that one. I don't know, I just haven't been super impressed with Blue-Black Shadow when I've played it. Red-Black Reanimator's a hoot, though. They've drawn double Snapcaster Mage. Yikes. I guess they don't have much land for it at the moment. Is Bant Eldrazi playable? I have no idea. Someone actually added that deck to the queue. And it's got, like, Eldrazi Temple in it and some other stuff, so I said that was fine. And EDH and other non-standard formats. I like variety in Magic. I think playing the thing I dislike about Legacy and Modern is that brewing isn't really rewarded in these formats. Like the cards that are good in Legacy and Modern tend to be much better than the cards that aren't. So like if you enjoy the play patterns of the decks that are good, then these formats are a lot of fun. And I definitely enjoy the play patterns of a number of the good decks in these formats. It's frustrating if you're looking for a brewer's format. As far as EDH goes, I haven't really played much EDH. Searching for Stream Deck or on your mobile. If you're on iOS, it doesn't exist. On Android, you click the little puzzle piece. You have to jump through extra hoops to get your thing onto iOS, and they haven't done that yet. Because Apple's a PETA. My hair's pink? What? Uh-oh. These Lingering Souls plus, like, just a Path to Exile might actually back us out of this game. I guess they do have a bunch of Stubborn Denials. I don't know how low I actually want to hit them here. So my opponent, for people who aren't familiar, is playing a card called Death Shadow, which is a card that gets bigger based on how low your health total is. So they can't play it until they're below 13, and then between 13 and 1, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So if I deal too much damage to my opponent, I'm actually helping them cast their namesake creature. The beard looks better in person. The lighting in my current stream room is not great. There literally isn't light in front of me. So it casts a shadow from back behind me. I need to get some soft front lighting. I have photography lighting, but it's just too harsh on my eyes. I need to get some LED lights. Yeah, there's a picture on my Twitter. Double Stubborn Denial Teamer Battle Rage. Alright, well, we're taking the Battle Rage since that's the one that's going to let them trample over my spirit tokens. And now I think we just have to race them. Drawing a threat. Maybe I'm supposed to escalate that. Just like discard this Minamo. So they have Snap Fatal Push this turn. So we'll take one of their Snapcasters here. You have two pair. There's no reason to do anything in response. So I assume we're going to see a block, Fatal Push a token, go to 5. And then we're just like racing against their clock here. Wow, it seems like an early concession, but someone who plays Magic by the hour, I'll take it. Just gonna bring in all my removal here, basically. Collective Brutality is a little bit clunky, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim that. Liliana, the Last Hope, doesn't really kill much of their stuff, so I'm gonna board that one out. I think Ritual of Soot's fine here. Cleaning up their Snapcaster Mages is decent, and like it kills Death Shadow, which is fine. It is a $100 donation if you want to cut a deck into today. If you want to cut a deck into, if you want to get a deck played tomorrow, though, it's much less than that. So, like, for instance, after I finish today, the top deck's going to have, like, 40 points. So, a $50 donation would get you played tomorrow. Thanks, Vexus. It's funny how many people have made the age joke. Ninja's actually only a year younger than I am. What's going on, Sniper? Thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Easy mulligan here. This hand's not amazing, but it's definitely a keep against a deck full of discard spells. Just want to scry into a white source. The leader of the trolls has become one. That's a good one. I would love a fetch land. We'll see what they take here at the discard spell. I'm gonna put this into play tap so they don't know that I hit the white source right away. This was for a sub goal. We agreed to do the hair when we crossed 4,000 sub points, and we did the beard as well when I hit 4,400. Hopefully they just like jam a Gurmag Angler here and we get to path to exile them. Thoughtseize, rude. And this is why, that was a good top deck. This is why, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of playing like the fair mirrors in Modern are kind of miserable in my experience. They're much, I much prefer the fair mirrors in Legacy to the fair mirrors in Modern, because there isn't sequencing around discard spells. You just kind of like punch each other in the face and like hope everything works out. Whereas like in Legacy with counter spells, there's more, you choose the order you're playing your cards out, and there's more back and forth, less top decking. Ninja does look very young. And the fact that he plays a game aimed at younger people, I think also like skews perspective that people have towards his age, I think. So I have to go ahead and just path to exile this now, because otherwise they're gonna get to flip and Thoughtseize me again next turn, which is not ideal for me. What drove me to play Agrolome? I just really I like grindy decks as CTR. It was one of my buddies gave me the deck initially. I actually physically played my buddy's like physical Magic cards for the first couple tournaments I played it in. That would bump it up to tomorrow, Death Shadow. I don't rearrange my schedule midstream except for very large donations, because I want people to be able to know, like, once we start for the day, know what to expect. I'm going to ditch the Ritual of Soot here, just because Lingering Souls tends to be very good against their deck. He didn't really get big from Halo White Ninja. He got big from Battle Royale games. Like, he streamed Halo to start, but like he didn't really gain traction on Twitch until he started doing Battle Royale stuff. Put Thoughtseize in the graveyard. Man, I guess I bin this because of Transform Search for Azcanta. And like I want to. This is actually great. Now I can just like play and flashback Lingering Souls. Yeah, definitely. Most people that end up successful on Twitch are people who have some amount of notoriety to get started from somewhere else. Because you need a way, like, there's so many people streaming so much stuff on Twitch, right? You need a reason to get people in front of you initially. Which my starter was definitely traveling on. Like, you also need to be good at streaming, but like you need a way. You need to have some kind of either gimmick or subject matter expert or something like that. So that way you can get some initial people in front of you. And then if you're good at it, they'll stay. But you do need to have some way to get them in front of you to start. Pink hair, that's the gimmick. Viewer numbers were way up yesterday, to be fair. But it was also because it was like a Sunday and no one else was streaming. Interesting if they're willing to push. I guess they really want to save the Liliana, but like they're pushing her up and discarding a card from their hand just to like not die to hero, which is great. Even drawing lands isn't terrible at this point because I do have my Search for Azcanta flipped. Alright, land's not even that terrible of a draw. The question here is they brought in everybody. Why does everybody board Surgical? I think I'm just activating Azcanta. Most of the things I get from Azcanta are like discard spells and stuff, so I wouldn't mind casting them now. Putting second Azcanta into play here. I like that flipping this card is optional. So like we just get to like filter our draws every turn now, which is nice. We're 2 for 2 on opponents boarding and Surgical against us. To be fair, maybe they just assume we're a Gifts Ungiven deck. Like, that's probably not unfair. Like, Esper's not really a thing in Modern, so, like, assuming that we're, like, a Gifts Ungiven deck of some sort is, like, probably not outside the range of reasonable. Let's always know. Ooh, Shambles. What's going on, Jensen? No, you should be good from here on out. So there was the double send last month, but then you'll be one at a time from moving forward. All right, Detention Sphere sounds great. I'm gonna go ahead and leave this last one back. Just keep my health total high. Trade with the Snapcaster Mage if they offer it. Activating the Azcanta proactively here is like bad against discard spells, unfortunately. So like if they have like a Thoughtseize or an Inquisition here, it would otherwise be dead. So yeah, maybe I should be waiting to activate the Azcanta. Alright, so I jammed the Gurmag Angler here, knowing that I have Detention Sphere in my hand. So I assume that means they have like a Stubborn Denial here. So I might actually activate Azcanta and not just Detention Sphere right away. Yeah, they're through 22 cards, and they haven't hit a stub yet. So, good chance they have one. Hey, Zerful, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Bin Lingering Souls. Yeah, I think I am actually going to bin that. Looking for a discard spell. Perfect. Just a Teamer Battle Rage. Interesting. Okay. Flashback Lingering Souls. We'll hit them to 7. Got them dead in 2 here. Baku Visions. Man, whenever I look at artwork like this, I just can't help but think multiple people approved this artwork. Who thought this was okay? Hey, Jonesy, thanks for the resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You know, there's no reason to jam the Clique proactively here. Just let them do their thing. They should be pretty dead here. Path to Exile is very, very good. They hadn't printed Path. How much would Deck and Stone see playing this format? Probably not a lot. The drawback on Deck and Stone is much worse. Another Death Shadow deck is probably not bad for us, although our hand is not stellar in this matchup. Nah, the Mishra's bubble implies that they're Death Shadow and not Hallowed One. I don't know if you missed that when they started their turn, but this card implies that it's not Hallowed One. Yeah, I agree, Pikes. Like even look at the deck that I'm playing, right? Like we're basically blue black Splash Path and Lingering Souls. Splash Path Souls Ojutai. Wooded Foothills. Maybe they're 4-color Shadow, like Traverse Shadow. This is the Death Shadow card that I alluded to my last opponent having. Cycling through. Do 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 boop boop boo. In Modern, should you always jam Thoughtseize on turn 1? In most matchups, it's correct, yeah. They tar fired themselves to make their Death Shadow bigger. Love it. Who's got 2 thumbs? Is ready to die to Teamer Battle Rage? This guy. Right here. I don't really talk about bans anymore. Talking about bans in Modern is just kind of a waste of breath. Nothing's gonna change. If you don't like the format for what it is right now, you should just stop playing. You should play a different format. Either learn to love Modern for what it is now, or learn to love something else. Play Standard. Do I have a way out of this? Yeah, I've got 2 copies of Ritual of Soot in my deck, right? So we could rip that and kill their board. So super dead to Temur Battle Rage, but Modern's fine. I enjoy Modern a lot more when I'm more picky with the decks that I play, so I'm going to be playing a more narrow selection of decks in Modern moving forward. Like decks like this one I'm playing right now are one that I've kind of had on the backlog for a little bit since we've slowed down how much Modern we're playing, and like, decks like this, they just aren't good in this format. They're just kind of slow and clunky, and they're not terribly efficient. Just like, they're playing the discard package, but they're just less efficient than other decks that play the discard package, so they leave a lot to be desired. I'll bring in Foul-Tongue instead of Dispel. Playing decks like Amulet Titan or Vanifear Pod, decks that are like sweet combo decks. Like that's the sweet spot for me personally in Modern right now. Those are the decks I'm interested in playing. Yeah, Modern has gotten to a point where Modern's very similar to Legacy at this point, where Brewing's just not rewarded because the decks that are good are so powerful that like lower power level brews just aren't very competitive. I'm gonna keep this. In general, you don't want to mulligan aggressively against decks full of discard spells, and like Ritual of Soot's pretty good in this matchup. I don't have a white source, but I've got 2 redraws at white sources, so that seems fine. If it involves Spellstutter Spray, maybe. I did actually tell someone they could donate for blue-black fairies still. They haven't actually sent the donations. I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but I did approve someone donating for blue-black fairies because I do love that deck. JAC's fine. JAC's doing what I think you should be doing in Modern, which is being linear and fast. I don't think my mortgage counts as a charity, so I'm going to say no. My hair is not pink because of a charity. I'm actually gonna play. I'm actually planning to play. I'm planning to play Jund Whirler again to start today, Gorks. The build on my website's kind of. I ended up updating the build on my website last night after poking around at some stuff. Inquisition sounds great. I'm just gonna go ahead and take their threat. Yeah, you can find a whole bunch of stuff on my website here. You can find the deck queue, which is the upcoming decks that we're going to be playing. You can find videos of every deck we've played in the past. You can find well-organized pages of decks that I play and I like. One of Gore Clan Rampager's pretty stock in these Traverse builds. It's kind of like a Temur Battle Rage you can tutor for. Was the beard dye painful? It was not. It was not. A-okay. I don't want to put chemicals that close to my eyes, so we're not gonna do the eyebrows. Morning, waifu. Chest hair. Yeah, I could do something cheap with the brows. Yeah, let's just flashback Lingering Souls. Like, souls plus Tarpid's like a relatively fast clock, right? So, Garden Variety Troll, the way hair dye works is they basically paint it onto your head. So, like, it touches your scalp. So, if your scalp is sensitive, you're gonna have issues. And in order to get my hair was very dark, right? So, in order to get pink in my hair, they had to bleach my hair. If you go on the subs Discord, there's a picture in general of me as a blonde. So I posted a photo of that before. In fact, the reason why so many places don't dye beards, but they do dye hair, is because, oh, that's why. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and snap target path to exile, and this forces them to blow the Nihil spellbomb up without getting a card draw out of it, which is nice. Actually, that was one of the nice parts about going to a beauty school. The girl that did my hair couldn't have been more than 20, so she actually knew what Twitch was. So when I explained why I was doing it, she was like, oh, sure. It's much easier to explain my job to people who are under 30 on average. Alright, so I'm going to hit them for 2 down to 4 here, and then just go ahead and pull the trigger on this Ritual of Soot. I don't want to die to a Temur Battle Rage by mistake here. So this gives them some life draws. If they break this turn, though, the Tarpid has them dead in 2, which is nice. I will say that creature lands are something I miss in the current standard format. I do really love. I miss Shambling Vent and Sylvan Advocate. The picture was in general, I believe. You might have to scroll back a bit. General moves a lot. Please be dead to my creepy boy. His rotation is a wound still open. Yeah, Abzan Seasons Pass was good fun. Did you draw a removal spell or are you dead? Alright, on to the next one. Onward, upward, backward, forward. I think this matchup's good for us, but like I said, good doesn't mean unlosable. We have a lot of good tools here, though. Between Lingering Souls to block and just like Path plus Fatal Push, plus D-Sphere, plus Ritual of Soot. Got a lot of good things going on in our favor. Yeah, Sylvan Advocate doesn't just make itself bigger, too, though. It also makes your creature lands bigger. Is 46 land Pack Rat an option to donate for? It is not. Those are the types of fair kind of OP modern decks that I'm moving on from. We've graduated from those. This hand's great. It's got 2 discard spells. Soon if they play a discard spell and one, I'm still going to get to rip apart their hand. Got 2 removal spells, so they can't get rid of both of those. Let the dick punching begin. Just like hitting each other in the face here. Lead on Inquisition. They don't. It sometimes apparently requires different chemicals in order to bleach a beard versus the hair on the head, because skin on your face tends to be more sensitive than the skin on top of your head. So your policy on Modern right now is essentially no bad brews. Yeah, unless it's something really sweet, like Vanifear Pod. That deck was awesome. Probably going to play that again at some point. Well, and we'll see how Modern goes in general. People haven't really been submitting Modern decks, so if the queue runs out, it just runs out. But the fact that people are submitting less also means that, like, the people that do submit decks will eventually have to wait less time, so it's kind of a win-win. Kiki, creature toolbox decks are my greatest weakness. Rock the pink hair, and yeah, Modern. Did you see Fair decks putting up results? Black Green Mock, Rock made waves. Yeah, I think Black Green Rock's a great deck. We played that yesterday morning. I think the Rock Mirror is really miserable though. But if you told me I could play Black Green Rock and never play a mirror match, yeah, I would love to play that deck. That and Blue Black Fairies are like two of the Fair decks I would accept, just because like they're good Magic decks. Modern deck submissions are $25 at a minimum. Yeah, the Rock Mirror just doesn't have a lot of player counterplay to it in my experience. No, Sultai Wilderness falls under terrible Fair decks that I'm not playing. So we drew Tasigur, but they have an Assassin's Trophy that I'm aware of, so their hand right now is double Fatal Push Lightning Bolt Assassin's Trophy, so I think I'm just flashing back Lingering Souls and planning to kill them with these. Did someone find the yellow hair picture? I would like to warn you that what you're about to see is intended for mature audiences only. It's a little bit graphic. It's a little bit graphic, but yeah, this is what she had. My hair was very dark, so this is what had to be done before we colored it pink. So, I don't want to fire up Spirit, Creeping Tar Pit, because they have lots of ways to kill it, so hopefully they're just going to, like, be forced to, like, spend a bunch of spot removal on our one Lingering Souls here. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see, like, a Fatal Push or a Lightning Bolt pop off here and kill a Spirit token. On second thought, the pink isn't so bad. Jake really likes the hair because pink's one of his favorite colors. He's really into like pink, red, purples. This whole thing he thought was great. Declan was unimpressed. Last Hope. That's actually I was gonna say that's unfortunate, but it's actually not, right? If they don't have a land here, yeah, this seems real loose. So like now I get to fire this up and I just get to kill their Liliana. So I traded their Liliana was kill a spirit token, gain 4. I don't know, maybe they're happy with that exchange. Doesn't seem very good for them though. And we drew Inquisition here, which is why I've been holding the Tasigur. So now next turn, I can Inquisition, take their Assassin's Trophy, and then stick Tasigur while I don't have an answer to it. Is this a Gorkline Rampager? Bloodbraid Elf? Culligan's Command? Sure. I think I'm ditching this Ritual of Soot since I've got some other things going here. Kind of surprised they didn't shock a token, honestly. Umbrella Academy. Oh, why didn't I play Tasigur? Because I was clicking too quickly. I forgot this card cost 1 mana. And I didn't play Tasigur because I was clicking quickly. I had in my head that he cost 3 from a half second ago, but he definitely does not cost 3. I have a hard time sitting down to watch things that only have 1 season. I feel like whenever I watch something that only has 1 season, I'm like setting myself up for disappointment. You're like, this, if I like it, it's probably not getting renewed. So they actually burned the removal spells that I know about, so they're making me sacrifice a creature. So I'm going to animate this in response and try and sacrifice the Creeping Turpit instead of the Tasigur. So hopefully they don't have a Bolt or a Tarfire here. Spell Mastery is fine. It's probably fine mechanic to come back. I kill the Liliana just in case here. Probably would be dead by now if I'd have played the Tasigur on the appropriate turn, but we're still in like a pretty good spot here. Hey, Rich, thanks for re-upping at the tier 2 level. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Wow, cycle down to make Tasigur lethal. Deal. Yeah, Travelers was really good. I don't know if they can do a 4th season for that show, though. The first 3 were good, though. Alright, they should be dead here at this point, unless they also drew removal. Travelers were confirmed, not coming back for season 4. That makes sense. They kind of closed the door. You went away from War Boss, you find yourself setting it out in most matchups. That's fair. I think War Boss in the 75 is probably reasonable though, because that card's really good against control. We're 2-1, which is like better than I can firmly stamp exceeds expectations on this deck. Unfortunately, I did get started a little bit late this morning, so Modern's gonna run a little bit late. Yesterday was a long day. Going for the 3-2 dream. Confirmed real deck. There's many 2-ofs in the deck list. Is it easier to make it consistent than it usually is in standard? Or something along the lines of there's too many good cards and not splitting them would be a mistake? Yeah, so that's actually a good question. So in formats like Modern and Legacy, because the card pools are so deep, there tend to be a lot of cards that have similar effects, but are slightly better in different edge situations. So you play cards like, what's a good example? Maybe I'm a liar in here. I guess a good example is between my main deck and my sideboard. So Path to Exile and Fatal Push. These aren't like, these cards have similar effects. Like this is just extra copies of that card. Another thing too is because Modern tends to be such a fast and brutal format, the more expensive cards that you want to play for the occasional longer games, you can't play too many of them because you're just going to get clunked up and die. Verdict, Settle, Dave Judgment. That's a good one. Splitting Thoughtseize and Inquisition is another one that happens a lot of the time. It's another Death Shadow matchup, and this is why like metagaming in Modern is so silly, right? Like you play a deck, you should never play a deck that you think is only good in specific situations, because it's very easy to wind up with just hitting a bunch of the same matchup in a row, or thinking you have good matchups against one specific archetype and then never playing against that archetype. Something that can happen pretty frequently in Modern. Like, we've played against Death Shadow 3 times this league, and like, this matchup's pretty okay for us, so hopefully we're going to 3-0 it. Like, we're 2-0 against it so far, Death Shadow variations. But, like, Death Shadow certainly isn't 60% of the format, right? So, like, we're playing a deck that happens to be good against Shadow, so we're going to have a good time in this league. But we could very easily just be playing a deck that's not good against Death Shadow, and then we'd have a really bad time in this league, by comparison. Probably going to draw step, click them. Probably I know I have this Path to Exile for their next threat, but this is kind of a kill all the things matchup, as I like to refer to it. So we basically want to just like be doing everything possible to keep all of their threats off the table. So even though I have an answer to their next threat, I'm going to take it away, so that way the threat after that, they are less likely to have a thing for. So they have a Stubborn Denial, which is a little bit annoying. A 1-mana counter target spell if they have a creature with a lot of power. Rude. Alright, so they have just Stubborn Denial left, and I have Creeping Tar Pit. They can put them on a 4-turn clock. I really wish we could draw Ojutai in this league. We've been in a lot of positions where like drawing Ojutai would be great. We just haven't found it. We have 2 of those in our deck. Tasigur's been showing up though, so he's been doing some work. Alright, dead in 3. Alright, taking step away from them is good. Means their next threat is less protected. Alright. Just need 2 bricks out of them. And not even necessarily 2 bricks, just like 2 cards that aren't removal for my Turpid. Maybe I should have held the Thoughtseize for a turn like this where they were holding a spell. Because, like, if they drew a removal spell, if I would have held the Thoughtseize, I could have taken the removal spell here. Probably doesn't matter overall. Please be dead. Please be dead. Please be dead. Now, I've been tweeting deck lists again. Mostly just tweeting deck lists these days. Discard spell. Alright, that could be a discard spell. Sweet. Hit Lingering Souls. Yes, the hair was a sub-goal. Creature lands are real good. Are you dead, Jet? Tilt. Unfortunately, I can't both flashback Lingering Souls and play Shambling Vent this turn, which sucks. So I think we're definitely just going to flashback Lingering Souls. I'd like to, if we could replace check lands with creature lands, I'd snap it off. Not blocking here. They're dead in 2 to the spirits. Ooh. Ooh. Creepy boy. Creepy boy. Just like we've been boarding before, Collective Brutalities and Liliana's out. Extra Souls, Foul-Tongue, Fatal Pushes, and the extra Detention Sphere in. Just boarded the same way for the last 3 matches. Got these 2 copies of Ceremonious Rejection in my sideboard and will not complain if we never have to board them in. Yeah, this is the 3rd Shadow deck in a row. No, we've not cast an Ojutai in this league. We're 2-1 though. More than Sega. More game than Sega with the $100 tip. Coming in hot. What goodies doth thou have this morning? I've held back from revealing this gem for far too long. Feel free to change the ratios and sideboards. More game than Sega. Could you possibly get me a deck list on... Could you export that to MTG Goldfish for me? And send me a link? So that way I can import it easily? If not, that donation is large enough for me to piece it together, but I'd appreciate if I could. If you could send me a link. Yeah, the beard looks better today. So I hadn't actually, I took a shower for the first time since I got my hair dyed. And when I took a shower, it looked like my hair and beard were crying pink and purple because the dye was washing off my skin. So the beard actually looks better because my skin has much less dye on it now. Because when they dye your hair, if you're not familiar, if you've never had it done before, they basically just paint dye over your hair so it sticks on your skin too. So once I did my first wash after it, like a bunch of the dye came off my skin. So it's more, so there's still some on my skin, but it's more so just the hair now. This melting purple, yep. Hey, Civ Master, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back, I appreciate it. There's slaughtering of unicorn. John's like, it's like funny. I told my wife, I was like, I think I killed a troll in here. Morning, Greasy. Sleight of Hand. Interesting. So they have a lot of cantrips in their deck, thanks. They're playing Sleight of Hand and Bubble. Wonder if they're not playing Serum Visions. I guess that's a possibility. We have a fast Tasigur here for ourselves, which is nice. Thought Scour into Tasigur. Never mind. Actually, I can probably still... I can go Inquisition, Thought Scour, Tasigur next turn with the fetch land. What type of dye did we use? Whatever the person at the salon recommended. I think I just take their Thought Scour here because the rest of their hand doesn't really hurt them. So by taking the Thought Scour, I'm going to cut them off of being able to play Death Shadow here anytime soon. How much does it cost? Because I got it done at a school, it was actually incredibly cheap. It was only like 60 bucks to get my beard and hair done. So Thought Scour adds 3 cards, which then lets me cast Tasigur. What? What? Top 10 anime betrayals, spell stutter spray. Yeah, I was expecting to pay at least $100 at a minimum, and like the girl did a good job, so I gave her a $40 tip. I was like, I had budgeted at least $100, so let's spend that. Yeah, I don't have any double white spells, but I just want to have access to like all of my colors consistently. Yeah, at that price, you know, we might refresh it. We'll see. If we stay above 4K sub points when it's dull, we'll definitely be refreshing, but maybe we'll refresh regardless. Is this snap sleight of hand? Yep. We played against Death Shadow 3 times here. It does look like I have more hair. You are not wrong. My bald is less apparent with the die. So, Tasigur, when you're delving, you can use his delve to kind of control which spells you leave in your bin to narrow which cards he can give you back when you activate him. Yeah, Ritual of Soot looking aces here. So, hopefully they play this other Death Shadow out next turn. And we just get to get him with Ritual of Soot. Blocks. So we're taking 6 here down to 11. Yeah, I just need to fade Thoughtseize and Stubborn Denial here. If they had Thoughtseize, they would have played it pre-combat. And played around the Ritual of Soot. Rats. So their hand is Death Shadow Snapcaster at the moment. So they can spin Liliana back and put a second shadow into play. I think we're dead here. Yeah. They have a Static Caster to blank my click. I am legally too old to dab. All right, heading into game 3 of match 4. Then we've got one more, then we'll be rolling on to standard, which they're going to start with Esper Reanimator. Can someone who loves me transcribe this Imgur deck list to MTG Goldfish for me? Yeah, Persip. I don't know, I might change my policy and just only play 4 matches in Modern moving forward. Yeah, the person who sent it in sent it as pictures, though, Hyder. I have no idea what guild kits are. This hand's fine. It's technically missing white mana, but, like, Field of Rune also just does, like, the slowest Evolving Wilds in the world impersonation. Again, this is just a kill all their things matchup, so just take their threats at every opportunity. What are my thoughts on Ritual of Soot and its application in Modern? I think, in general, Ritual of Soot's like a pretty reasonable card, but also, in general, decks that would want to play Ritual of Soot probably aren't very good in Modern in general. Esper Reanimator for standard was the cut the line. The commander queue doesn't exist anymore in Magic Online, or it does but doesn't fire. I don't remember. Maybe it's Brawl that doesn't exist anymore. Should have activated this to go get a second black source at end of turn. Didn't matter because we didn't draw a spell. I don't know the details that you're referring to on new takes versus Hane's list. I haven't paid that much attention to Mono Blue. I too would love to draw Ojutai. That's fine. I didn't want to cast my spells anyways. And this is just like a pretty typical fair mirror in Modern. Like, my opponent, I've drawn 3 spells this game, and my opponent has discarded 2 of them. Just like, welcome to Thunderdome, enjoy your stay. And hey, look, now I am going to do the same back to them. I'm going to take some of their spells away. All's fair in love and Modern, chat. Hey, what's going on, Drax? Good morning. Hope you had a good stream. Thank you, Jonesy and Rocker. I appreciate it. We are getting spell stutter spreaded again. Yep. Hey, Jay Shrimp, thanks for the 14th month in a row. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Easy trade here. They have a fatal push that I know about, so I'm not going to be attacking with the Shambling Vent. Really hoping to draw a Tasigur or a removal spell. Would like an Ojutai or a Tasigur here. Lingering Souls would also be reasonable. Alright, well, now that I drew that, I'm going to go ahead and fire this up and attack. And I'm going to attack with the Shambling Vent before I play the Creeping Tar Pit, because I don't want them to know that I'm going to be playing a better creature land. Thank you, Alex. Gosh, Ojutai would just be unkillable with this Minamo. Well, apparently they have 4 cards in their hand and none of them are good, so that bodes well for me. They have multiple spell stutter sprites. God bless. Have like a 3rd spell stutter sprite here. Yep. It's a cute plan. Someone who loves spell stutter sprite, I can dig it. Can you dig it? Do. Please draw one more brick now. God bless creepy boy, chap. All right. 3-1 versus Death Shadow. 3-0 versus Death Shadow. 0-1 versus Just Guy. Creature lands are real good. Yeah, Turpit, we've yet to draw an Ojutai. We're going to rename the deck Esper Creeping Turpit. Blue-black Path to Exile. The deck's basically blue-black Path to Exile, right? Sure. Gonna fetch a basic Swamp here, just in case they got a handful of burn spells. Actually gonna take Animation Module here rather than Arcbound Worker. This card grinds. It makes it so they just get to make a bunch of 1/1 tokens every time they put things into play. Gets real bad for us real fast. Fast Tasigur here is gonna be pretty reasonable. I think I'm going to drain them. Discard this Delta. Hey, Wabwen, thanks for the 12 months. I appreciate that. I knight the Defender of the Realm. Go forth and protect us from Twitch chat. Thanks, Nivek. Yikes. Discarding... Maybe I should have discarded the Godless Shrine rather than my fetch land, because now I don't have double blue. Not that Vendilion Clique would be that useful here anyways. So they get to bounce off of the Shambling Vent, but the Shambling Vent still gains me 2 by attacking, so it's definitely a worthwhile attack. They could trade for the Shambling Vent if they want, but I think that's a win for me. Oh, they're trading the Throne of Geth for my Shambling Vent. I think I'm still okay with that. They pay 4 to pump this up. I'll path it in response. We'll take 1 here, and they'll go get a land, probably. Or they didn't take any. Deal. Definitely should have shot us once there. We're hoping to dodge other X creatures at this point. If I had a blue source, I could be activating this Tasigur, which would be nice. My eyes were not prepared for this on a Monday. Stop, drop, roll. Thanks for the biddies. Hope you're having a good one. So... they're going all in on this Arcbound Ravager, or they're just moving a counter over. We're making this Ravager a 4/5, so we bounce. Is that the plan? God, this is so loose. Maybe they probably just don't have a better line, huh? They're just like have nothing and need to not be taking 4 damage. I guess that's fair. It's definitely super aggressive, but super defensive. Opposite of aggressive, super defensive. And now their Ravager is big enough to eat my Tasigur in combat with this Arcbound Worker, so no more attacking for me. Really? Okay, interesting. Land or removal spell will be good. Land is excellent. I'm gonna go ahead and attack with Tasigur. And I think at this point, even though I do kind of want a second blue, I'm gonna go ahead and just crack this and play this off a basic swamp. I don't wanna fetch shock here. Our first time casting Ojutai this league. It was bound to happen eventually, right? Evolutionary Leap. Alright, sure. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little Dragonlords, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little Dragonlords, 7 little, 8 little, unkillable Dragonlords, all at Minamo School at Water's Edge. We've assembled Dragontron, chat. It's Minamo plus Dragonlord. Trigger. Ooh, that's a good one, yeah. That's a good one, yeah. Thunk. I'm probably supposed to save this, huh? I'm probably supposed to save that for if they play, what's it called? Nah, probably not. Probably doesn't matter. I think we're all roads are heading in the direction of Rome. We're probably fine. You and me both, Magar. I would love to play a Stoneforge Mystic Dragonlord Ojutai deck. That just sounds like the bee's knees. Sounds like everything I would love to lose with in Modern. I don't think this is a Collective Brutality matchup, although Vendilion Clique's pretty bad here, so I guess I'll leave a couple in. I don't think I want Thoughtseize. Inquisition's fine, since it doesn't cost me health. This seems reasonable. Ceremonious Rejection is, like, good as a cheap counterspell. Detention Sphere is good because it cleans up tokens, enchantments, stuff like that, too. Let's give this a run back. My morning as well, Prince Day. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good one as well. All my colors, double removal spells. Sign me up. Foul-Tongue's life gain, but it's like kinda clunky life gain. I agree that the pink border turned out well. Very, very happy with how the pink border turned out. Just gonna go ahead and spend my mana every turn here. Azcanta was a good draw. Means I'm gonna get to use my mana every turn here. Tribute to Hunger will be better than Foul-Tongue. Kinda. If you have Ojutai, Foul-Tongue's real good. Don't take my Dragon's Matter spells away from me. They're working hard, okay? Doing their best to get by in this cold hard world. Alright, who are we giving the D to? I think I'm supposed to give the D to Hardened Scales here. Good morning, Brian. We're actually 3-1 and up a game here right now. We played 5 fair matches in a row. If you can count, they're like an aggro deck, right? I think I'd count them as fair still. It might be right to take the hanger back off the table here, but Hardened Scales is pretty scary. If they have an Arcbound Ravager, I'm going to be kind of sad, though. Animation Module is pretty good, too. So I need to find a Path to Exile and then a Ritual of Soot here, probably. Another Detention Sphere would also be okay. Collective Brutality. No, I think I'm actually going to take that one. I'm going to play this. Am I escalating this? Yeah, I think I'm ditching a Creeping Char Pit to drain them here. I'm going to go ahead and kill this while I can, basically. So I can't get bigger. Yep. Alright, so want to buy one Ritual of Soot. Yeah, Scour plus Azcanta is great. The fact that I'm going to get to flip Azcanta here aggressively. So anything other than a Ritual of Soot's getting binned off the top of my deck at this point. So that way we can flip Azcanta and start digging for it. I think I just need to flip it this turn. Last Hope's not good enough on this board, especially with the Spellskite. Nameless Inversion is just too clunky. Two mana removal is just not good enough, especially when it's not unconditional removal. Like, in order for 2 mana removal to be good enough, it's got to be like Assassin's Trophy or Terminate or something like that. Dig, dig, dig. So I'm taking 5 here. And then next turn I'm taking 7. So I'm dead in 3. No, they take 8 next turn. So I need to find Ritual of Soot like now. Well, we didn't ban a Ritual of Soot. We got that going for us. Welding Jar is pretty good here. It means that Ritual of Soot's not going to fully clean the board. Might be a bit too far gone at this point. I was kind of surprised we didn't see them Pendelhaven last turn. Magic is a skill-based game. Do-da, do-da, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The worst part about this Ritual of Soot is you don't hear a thunk with beams that shoot out and kill everything. I'm really incredibly disappointed by the lack of beams at the moment. So, in response to these triggers, I'm going to Fatal Push this Thopter. Because if these things put counters on that Thopter, they'd get to make more tokens with this animation module, which I clearly don't want to happen. So, the animation module is going to be grinding us out a little bit, but I've got Azcanta, which should hopefully help us keep up until we can find a Lingering Souls or something along those lines. Maybe I should have just burned my path last turn. Rejection's a pretty good hit here. Oh, am I dead now? Yeah, I should have pathed last turn. Yeah, I'm actually dead. Well played. I should have pathed this last turn, because now I'm dead on this attack, and then I can't play another removal spell, and they get to Pendelhaven, one of the things that I'm not pathing. Yeah, I punted this game. Makes me wonder if I mismanaged my health total at some point. Could have lagged, taken one less point of damage somewhere, perhaps. Yeah, I think if I would have pathed the previous turn, there's a good chance I stabilized there. Just because of the creeping tar pit in the Azcanta. Really needed a threat that game. Needed to see like a Lingering Souls or something like that. Seems like not amazing, but definitely fine. One land's a little scary, but I've got double Thought Scour to help out. That was a Ceremonious Rejection. It was not a Thought Scour, Edgelord. Really need a white source. Perfect. Yep, this is our game 3, match 5, so we'll be on to arena after this one. I could maybe play the Inquisition before the Lingering Souls to, like, try and sniff out a Walking Ballista, but I think I just want to be mana efficient. If I play the Inquisition that turn, I'm not able to play out Lingering Souls as well, whereas with this sequencing, I get to play Lingering Souls, and the next turn I get to go Inquisition plus Lingering Souls. $10 standard decks to have approximately 4 to 5 week wait time at the moment. Usually decks are getting played when they're about 50 points in my queue. I'm gonna go ahead and path this now. I assume we'll see them shoot my spirits, and I can flash back these other spirits. And then hopefully we'll hit a land next turn so we can jam Ojutai down their throat. Lingering Soul is actually not super useful here because my opponent does have a Blink Moth Nexus to pump their inks up to 2/2s, so I'm not going to be able to attack in. No, integrating Magic Online stuff into Arena has nothing to do with legal issues and everything to do with that's not how software works. The Sultai Climb deck was fine. It was a little bit more grindy than Blue-Green Climb, though, and the Sultai mirror matches really kind of suck. They're just this endless slog. It's not really my cup of tea. Dragonlord Ojutai in the face of Inkmoth Nexus is like not great for us. We're kind of at a standstill at the moment. Cause like I can attack in with this, but then like they can pump these up. And Infect deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counter, so I really don't want them killing my Dragonlord. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass here. Yeah, the number of people who have been like just copy and paste the code from Moto to Arena is just like has really made me chuckle. There's been a lot of those in recent memory. Oh, did I forget to add them there? I totally need to do that, Butler. Here's the link. That's my bad. They're definitely a sponsor. I'm gonna make a note to do that. My life's just been crazy recently. Add quip to sponsor page. Thank you for the heads up. Perfect. Path to Exile is exactly what I wanted for Christmas. So now when they go to fire up an Inkmoth Nexus, I get to go ahead and path it. I guess with the Welding Jar, this still might not work very well. Yeah, here's the thing you have to understand, Holland. If you actually take 30 seconds, it's longer than 30 seconds. If you take a few minutes and read the MTGO ELA, they can delete your account at any time they want. Your account's not worth anything. They're just numbers and whatnot in a database. So you own nothing is the TLDR, and they can do whatever they want. That's true. That's true of basically every online digital platform. You own nothing, and they can do whatever they want. Oh, this was bad still. Now they're going to be able to animation module tick up on this. Another Blink Moth. Rough. Yeah, that was loose on my part. That was loose on my part. And then I immediately drew a Field of Ruin. Yeah, just super punished. Bad faith whataboutisms are never welcome here. Please don't do that. Yeah, don't engage with people like Teak Samafiso. They're just trolling. They're just either willfully ignorant or just trying to waste your time. In either case, they're not worth your time to respond to. Alright, sweet. Search for Azcanta should let us bury them. My Dragonlord Ojutai would let us run away with this game very quickly, though. I guess they are going to get a Steel Overseer activation in here. We actually might be in trouble because I can't kill the Steel Overseer. Even a single activation here is going to trigger animation module a ton. Man, if my Ojutai was just a 5/4 still, we'd be much better off here. So like they get to make a token here, and then they can like animate these, activate this. All right, so we get 6 looks at a Ritual of Soot. Huh. Wow, that is a lot of misses at spot removal. I really need a way to kill this Steel Overseer. Yikes. Huh. I think we're probably dead. I guess Ritual of Soot still digs me out of this, huh? So I'm going to exile a bunch of the cards that I don't want to get back with my Tasigur activation. So you'll see here that I am intentionally leaving lands in my graveyard just so there's only spells that I'm interested in getting back, because Tasigur cannot return lands to my hand. So we're kind of doing it. So like here's the problem, right? Like they activate this and now they get to make a bunch more things. So like I need to hit a Ritual of Soot in my top 5 cards next turn. So like I've got chump blockers this turn with my spirit tokens, but then if we don't hit, they're going to be wide enough that I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I have 2 Ritual of Soots. I know my bottom 3 cards are things from Azcanta, so I have 2 hits in 29 cards here, and we get 5 looks. So 1 miss. Alright, I think Lingering Souls buys me enough time. Or Path to Exile on this buys me enough time. Yeah, but, like, the Blink Moths aren't killing me right away, Messy. And, like, I have Azcanta going to find more removal spells. So, like, I'm not dead because my Lingering Souls are chump blockers. And then next turn, I get 5 more looks. And, like, so now there's 6 cards on the bottom of my deck that are not Ritual of Soot. So I get 5 looks with 2 hits into 24 cards next turn, which is a big deal. Oh, is the Ravager lethal? I mean, I'm definitely dead. We might be dead to the Ravager now. Yeah, you're right. Didn't actually count. I think you're right that we're dead to the Ravager at this point. Because I can't block everything, and they're gonna have, yeah, we're super dead to the Ravager. So I'm dead regardless of what we do there, because I'm dead to the Ravager. God, what a brutal game. Alright. You know, and that's just such a good example of, like, so we played this deck. It's peak Esper, right? Like, that last game was a great example of why decks like this just aren't very good in Modern. Decks like this, you can play and you can win games, right? Like, we went 3-2, we beat Death Shadow 3 times, like, we hit one of our few good matchups and we beat it, but just, like, we hit a reasonable, linear, aggressive deck, and our tools just didn't line up well into what they had going on, and ultimately we ended up dying because of it. Just how it goes. So, if you wanna play kind of slow, mopey decks like this, I would definitely recommend playing Standard and not playing them in Modern, because you're gonna end up sad playing them here. Speaking of standard, on to some video games, shall we?